Welcome to episode 103 of the Women's Business Workshop podcast. Today we're talking about the isolation of being the boss versus being one of the team. Many business owners, like yourself perhaps, were employees in their field before opening their own businesses. As part of a team, you had peers you could vent with, confide in, and joke around with. When you decide to leave and start your own business as a solopreneur, that is often a lonely place. It isn't always talked about because, we don't want to be ungrateful. We should be happy we left and thankful we have a business to be lonely in. And who wants to admit to being lonely? Many don't even recognize that this is the feeling that they're feeling. It may be disguised as overthinking or indecision when really you just need less leadership alone time in your business. If we haven't met yet, I'm Robin Walker, your host and business coach, here to help you get strategic and grow your business. Small business owners come to me for help with all that business stuff that comes along with being your own boss. If we haven't met yet or you haven't updated me recently, please reach out and connect on LinkedIn so we can chat business ownership. So let's get into the episode and talk about those feelings of isolation. I want to start with sharing the transitional phases that I see business owners go through on their journey from employee to business owner or agency owner. When you first leave corporate or a W-2 position, it feels like freedom. And it is. Freedom to make every single decision and have your income rely entirely on your own daily activity. At first, this does feel empowering and exciting, if not a bit scary. Listeners to this podcast are very ambitious and accomplished in their fields, and so I'm sure you knew you could do it or you wouldn't have left. However, what's often surprising to new business owners, and maybe you can relate with this, is how many decisions you truly have to make on a daily basis. And there's no one to ask for input. Some of you try talking to your spouse or friends, but it never really feels like the right kind of advice. And they really don't seem to get it because how could they? They don't understand how big these decisions feel to you. You don't necessarily recognize this as loneliness, but you do feel overwhelmed and you second guess your decisions. But you keep plugging away in this phase and eventually you build a business. As we move into the second phase, I want to note that many of you are wired for serving others and are very high in interpersonal skills. Not necessarily being related to being an introvert or an extrovert. I'm talking more about your ability to relate to others and your heart for making other people's lives better. It's a beautiful quality, but sometimes it does cause us to struggle just a little bit when we start hiring in our business. So when you decide to start hiring other providers in your business, especially if they are who you would consider industry peers, it can be easy to assume it's going to feel like a group of friends. Yay, I'm no longer alone. This is going to be so great. And it can be. You are setting out to create an environment that is not like the one that you left, and you want to offer what you're getting, flexibility, autonomy, potential for more take-home pay. You're hoping to offer that to other service providers, which is incredibly admirable. It makes me love working with you guys even more if that's possible. And that is really great for a while until sometimes that personality trait of wanting to make things great for everyone else starts to get in the way with running a successful business. So let's move on to phase 3 and see where this might kind of turn into a little bit of a problem. Often in this next phase, there is some frustration. It gets frustrating because no one else seems to be as invested as you are. No one is marketing for their own clients the way that you feel like they should be. People are taking advantage of the flexibility that you provide. And they all seem to be friends, and now you're the one on the outside because you are the boss. And most commonly, you feel like you are working the same amount or even more and making little to no additional profit. It can cause resentment to creep in, but then of course you feel guilty because you want them to have this great place to work. But you are covering the tab. You are taking on the liability for being the business owner. You're the one worrying at night about rent and payroll. They don't have those same responsibilities, and they shouldn't, but it can feel lonely for you. You still have the same business owner decisions to make that you had to make at the beginning when you were a solopreneur, and you're still asking people that are not in your shoes business questions and looking for input, but they don't feel the pressure that you feel. I mean, why would they? This is your business, and this may feel harsh, but this is a job to them. They probably like it a lot more than working for a larger company, and you're a great boss, I'm sure, but they don't have the buy-in that you do. And it's not their responsibility to make business growth decisions. It is yours. You have to lead. You're no longer a peer. You are their boss, like it or not. You can provide an amazing place to work. You can have fun with your staff. That doesn't have to change. But the sooner that you embrace your role and learn how your same strengths can transition into healthy leadership, the sooner you will begin to grow as a business. There's steps you can take to find profitability with this model if you're wondering, how am I going to get paid working on the business instead of providing service to clients, which feels like a more direct way to get paid? There's marketing incentives or expectations we can build into your team onboarding to help with those boundaries. It is a transition from peer to boss, especially if you have had bad experiences with a boss in the past. It makes it harder even then to step into that role of boss. So this leads us into the next phase. Just so you know, this is all normal. Owning a business is the biggest mind game I've ever had in my life. There is so many ups and downs and overthinking and questioning and decisions. It's a lot. So it's normal. Let's move into the next phase. The fourth stage is finding your sweet spot as a leader, establishing healthy boundaries, which usually can include updating those systems, protocols, maybe creating some templates for communication with your team that will help you with your confidence to at least use these at the beginning. And most importantly, finding a group of other business owners for the camaraderie that you've been needing this whole time. So yes, I host a group for business owners. Of course, I am biased, but I want you to keep an open mind if you haven't been in any kind of mastermind or regular small group with other small business owners. I want to share what I see happening in there. Sometimes for the first time, women are getting input and feedback from people that understand business. It's not just a quick conversation at a networking event, but a strategic discussion with other owners that know their business and have been a part of their business over time. I personally do a business analysis. It's hard to say. I do a business analysis session with every new member of our group. So that way, when we are in the mastermind sessions, my advice or questions for you are educated. They are based on your personal business model. I don't believe in a one-size-fits-all, and the input you're getting is not based on assumptions or like at a networking event, someone's cousin's ex-boss, something they did. I've seen all this happen. We're not basing them on assumptions or telling you what you quote unquote should do, because these women have been in your business and they've been around you and in these sessions for a long time. They really know you and know your business. And you're getting input from women whose businesses you respect. The relief I see on faces, the tears from finally having a safe place to share their struggles, the celebrations that others really appreciate. I mean, no one really understands, except other business owners, why that one single sale was so huge for you, or why that email you sent was such a huge accomplishment. These are things that we don't brave to say in other circles because they just wouldn't understand. So if you're feeling lonely in your business, regardless of where you are on this business journey, you might just be a solopreneur feeling lonely, or you may be at the head of a larger business and still feeling lonely. Just know that it is normal. You're not the only business owner that's feeling isolated. But the good news, it's a situation that you can control. You can stop expecting affirmations or advice from people who don't understand your day to day. Let us celebrate with you. Come and cry if you need to. But just know I'm going to help you get back on track and refocused on your goal because you, my friend, have important things to do. This world needs you, and overthinking and staying alone is not going to get you anywhere. So if you're ready to join the other business owners in the Impact Business Circle, reach out for a no-cost consultation call, and we'll see if it's a right fit. You can find that link in the show notes. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. I would love to get to know you better and hear more about your business if you want to send me a note. Now, go get back to your goals.